Didn't save my YouTube stream settings for some reason, that's annoying. Oh well, we're back anyway.
Unfortunately, our automated system is unable to access that ship at this time. We apologize for any inconvenience. Please try
It's
again
Levski's
later.
fault. Never
Select
mind.
a different ship.
Now, as I understand it, the CitizenCon jackets are in. So they are, that's cool. There we go. Unfortunately, we have to wait for our Constellation Phoenix to spawn. Oh, Recco is offering us a job again. Let's just do that for giggles. Be an interesting test to see if the elevators in here have oxygen now, because they didn't last time.
Your ship has been delivered to the following landing pad.
Oh, that's good timing. Not choking to death in the Grand Barge elevators anymore on the exchange. Is it not working again? Looks like it. Yeah, she doesn't want to know this time. That's a shame. Never mind, at least the Phoenix is there. I can go and do the other one. So I have come to the conclusion that Recco only offers one mission at present, because I have completed her initial introduction mission a good 5-6 times now, and I have not had the prompt to go and get another one. So I think she only has the one mission for now. Magical disappearing elevator again. Phoenix is in hangar 1. Not doing bad so far. I haven't put my spacesuit back on, so the oxygen in here is obviously working for the time being. Could you recommend it in its current state? That's a bit of a mixed question. So long as you accept that it's going to have problems and you're not buying a finished game, then yes, go and pledge for a starter package and go and have some fun, because the game is very playable now. I know it's FPS droppy at the minute, but that's because I'm in a very FPS droppy area that isn't optimized for the new object container streaming.
You're free to launch.
Yeah, you can use my code, you can use anyone else's code, so if you've got a friend who's already playing, they will have a referral code too, even if they might not know it, and you can kind of use that mutually for yourselves. So we're not going to be doing anything specific tonight, guys. It's just generally a DOS around and see how the servers and performance is just doing. Unless there's anything specific you guys want to see that I can try and do, then speak up. And yes, the anniversary sale is coming up at the end of November, so normally it's on, they do it at the same time around Black Friday, so we're thinking the 23rd this month, and you might be able to snag yourself a slightly cheaper starter package. 1506 error. I haven't seen it yet, but I managed to get in the game first time. Could just be me being lucky, or they may have finally resolved the login server issues. Fly to Hurston. I can try if you want. I can't promise there's anything thrilling there. Let's have a look. I imagine it might take a while to get there, especially from Levski. I don't have enough fuel to do it from Delamar, so I will have to go to Crusader first. If I can do it from the truck stop. At the minute, Hurston is a sort of just a mesh ball with some surface rock. There's nothing in it that is, you know, meant for life. It's just a planetoid at the minute that you can't even land on because it tends to blow you up. Buy all the drugs. That's something we can do if I can find a drug lab. I don't actually know if CIG have fixed the orbital markers at the minute. Phoenix has still got that bug where the lower engine pods don't go back when you retract the landing gear. It's a bit of a pain. Yeah, the drug lab's not moved, Jez, it's still there. It's just the trouble of finding it because the in the PTU at least, whether they fixed it now, I don't know, the orbital markers weren't working properly. Yes, going from Grimhex does work, because it's pretty much direct line of sight, isn't it? So we'll try Hurston first anyway, so... I don't actually know how much fuel the Phoenix has when it's got a full tank. And people will be able to see the drug lab if they've not seen the drug lab before. Not the drug lab, I knew what I meant, the truck stop. I've got drugs on the brain now, look what you've done to me, Jez. So, I don't know if people have been keeping up with the various leaks that have been coming out. The 3.3.5 patch with Hurston in it has a few problems by the looks of it, but it's mainly things that don't look too difficult to fix, so I'm hoping we'll get some kind of PTU by the end of next week. Scramble race is working. I don't know, Andrew. I've not actually tried one. As far as I'm aware, they are. I haven't heard anything bad about them, so... I was about to say, where's the station? Then it's over there. There we go, put the missile pods back in and it's made the rear engine pods move as well. I just remembered I still don't have any flight suit on. It just tweaked when I saw my own HUD then. I'm still sat here in the CitizenCon jacket, so I need to be careful when I do want to leave. Ooh, did I get given a hanger? Not that one by the looks of it, maybe the other one. No, I didn't get given a hanger. Okay. Why is it still hailing, I wonder? Landing pads here broken, maybe? Or is it because there's just so many ships, they're all full, which could be a possibility. 600 eyes slow? It depends. Is it slow because you prefer fighter ships? Because then yes it is. But remember, it's meant as an explorer, it's not meant to be that nippy. Compared to the Connie, I think it's a bit quicker than the Connie. It certainly accelerates a hell of a lot faster. Yeah, this it's not letting me land. I might have to do it illegally just to get some fuel. Freelancer, not quite learning how to get onto the pads yet. Maybe it is just balked altogether then, Bruce. Never mind.
Warning, you are blocking an active flight lane. Please vacate the vicinity.
Yeah, I know, I'm just freeloading off your fuel. There we go. Alright then, Hurston, let's try again. Ah, it doesn't look like I've still got enough fuel. 291 out of range, really? How much quantum fuel have I got? Yeah, definitely not letting me jump. That's a shame. Quantum fuel 2463. They should have enough. Maybe they've stopped people being able to jump there now. Never mind. Drugs. Time to do drugs then. So, if I'm going to start drug running, I want a different ship other than the Connie, because I don't think the cargo is working properly in the Constellation Phoenix. I don't have a freelancer, no. Knight, are you still having the 1506 error? Oh, the Reco missions respawn. That's interesting. I've never had that happen on a server where I abandoned it before. Yeah, if you're getting a 1506 error, the only thing I can recommend is that you just keep restarting your client and trying to get in. The launcher needs permission. That's a new one. You got some kind of antivirus enabled that's stopping it? Or maybe completely log out of the launcher and try again. Yeah, I would say a fresh install. I mean, I wouldn't try reinstalling the whole client, just reinstall the launcher, because the launcher has its own folder. Oh dear. You should have two folders when you go into the main Star Citizen directory, yeah. You should have one that's just called Star Citizen, and then another one that's called RSI Launcher. Just delete the RSI Launcher one, then re-download it from the website. Now, before we go in here, I need to remember to put a spacesuit on, because I'm currently wearing a jacket, and my head will explode. There we go. I suppose really, apart from using the the Titan, we just go big or go home.
All of our landing areas are currently full.
Of course they are.
Please hold for assignment.
Unfortunately, our automated system is unable to access that ship at this time. We apologize for any inconvenience. Please try again later, or select a different ship.
Yeah, they'll change LSR eventually. They just need to do what I said they need to do, and they need to fit some thrusters to it and then just fire it into Crusader's atmosphere to give it a send-off. There's nothing on 00. Okay, let's try server hop, because I've landed at Olisar, so I should respawn here. Yeah, exactly. It would be a sight to see. Be like a giant firework to commemorate the opening of whatever new service that they'll offer within Crusader's atmosphere, because it's going to have like a cloud city station, isn't it, when they get the gas cloud tech in. Oh, you would. The one time when I don't want persistence. Oh, my game is dying. Why am I here? Where am I? Okay, let's try this again. Hello, Erasmus. Select a location this time instead of just using best. Ah, I'm back in Port Olisar, which is good. I was getting a bit tired of waking up in Levski all the time from trying to do Reko's missions. Yes, my spacesuit is now on. I've since changed so my head won't explode. There's Reko's mission again. I'm not falling for that. Reko's mission is like clickbait at the minute. Okay, we've got a pad this time at least. Caterpillar has engines, which is good. This, Charlie, is a Caterpillar. It's a cargo ship. At least at the minute it's a cargo ship. It has lots of modules in it that eventually will be interchangeable to serve a variety of purposes. But at the minute it is the ship that can carry the most cargo in-game. Has the most cargo capacity. So yeah, it's kind of an interstellar freighter at the minute. And it might look a bit weird, but I do genuinely love this thing. You can normally shove quite a few ground vehicles and stuff inside it if you're inventive. It's great fun for group play. The only thing they haven't done, as you can see with the landing gear when I was running up to it, because it was a bit funny, is they haven't added the strut suspension for the landing gear yet. They added it to a load of other ships in the latest build that went live, but they haven't done it yet for the Caterpillar. It still lands very much with a bump. Yeah, what did you think of the Valkyrie? The Valkyries are cool. They're good for group play as well. Ah, you don't stand too close to the door, otherwise that happens. Now, I don't have that many credits, so I'm not going to be able to buy that much Widow, providing, of course, that the drug lab has any Widow to sell. I did remember coming down here once during the PTU, and the drug lab didn't have anything to sell. So we need to find Grim Hex, don't we? There's OM5. OM4. Grim Hex, so I need to go around the moon a bit. Yes, it can indeed carry a shit ton of people. Hello, Daza. Now, if they fix the LMs, I should be able to get to the drug lab from here. Oh, he says as he looks at the dark side of the moon. Huh. Not as easy as I thought it might be. Never mind. Let's carry on to Grim Hex. Oh, it's really hard to see. I'm not going to see that in a hurry. May have to go and do some normal cargo running and space trucking, even if just to show the function of the dragonfly, the caterpillar in the meantime. Now I do have a file on my desktop from an old cargo route that we used to run. So we need to go to Daymar. Yes, that's the spirit, Daza. Get back into it. Don't get addicted to buying spaceships though, it's not a good habit. I've kind of promised myself that I won't buy any more ships for a while now, because I basically have what I need. Come the anniversary sale, unless there is some massive argument otherwise, this caterpillar and its subsequent pack is probably going to be melted for my 600i, which I'm going to buy back. And then that'll basically be it. Oh, this quantum bug is annoying. The Anvil Arrow was teased, and that is all we know. It looks like a little dinky ship. I know there was something on the Star Citizen leaks subreddit / Discord about it a while ago. I think they had a model for it, and people thought it was a hawk to begin with. But it looks like another fighter ship, and fighter ships are not my bag as such. Oh, I didn't mean to drop the landing gear. There we go. Oh, Shubin's just going into the dark side, that's a shame. How many ships do I have? I have a fair few. I seem to repeat this list every day I play this game. Oh, I need to stop this thing drifting. So I have this caterpillar, which was part of a pack. So this is an old LTI caterpillar and twin dragonfly pack, and I still have one of the dragonflies. I still have the yellow jacket because that's obviously the more exclusive one. The black one I melted and turned into a Mustang Delta for shits and giggles, so I had something to fly around with one of the new Mustangs. The black dragonfly, like I said, is the Delta. Still got the yellow jacket. I have the Constellation Phoenix because I bought the Connie Phoenix with this ship sale that just went on. I have an Avenger Titan Renegade, which I won in a competition with CIG. I won a 600i commercial competition. Well, I came third, and the Titan was the prize. I upgraded the Titan to a Titan Renegade when 3.3 went out. And then I also have a Saber Raven, because I've had a Raven code since forever. What else have I got? Oh, Origin ships, because I'm an Origin fanboy. So I've got an M50 because I love the M50. I had the Gladius and Gold referral reward, which is 10 referrals, and then I upgraded the Gladius into an M50 because the M50 is one of my favourite ships. And I bought an 85X because I really like the 85X as a little run around. And then I've got a bunch of ground vehicles as well. So I've got an Ursa Rover, a Nox Q, and the aforementioned Yellow Jacket Dragonfly, and the racing variant of the Cyclone. And yes, sticking it in the description is probably a good idea. That would require common sense, which I don't tend to have a lot of on a Sunday evening, if I'm honest. Yes, not a lot. Well, let's just put it this way. I have the first tier of concierge. So, yeah, it's an expensive habit, isn't it? I haven't actually landed the caterpillar on Daymar since this patch became a thing, so this could either go really well or really horribly. There's already a 600i on the big pad, which is a bit annoying. Yeah, I got the top hat and the monocle, but the monocle doesn't work at the minute. They've broken it. It doesn't show on your character, but it creates an annoying visual bug in first person mode, which is just as annoying. No, it's not the worst thing in the world. Oh, wobbly gravity, yeah, definitely a bit different landing here. So, I don't play that many games. I sometimes dip my toe into WoW because I have very strong community ties with my WoW guild, and they're my good friends, but World of Warcraft's kind of lost its edge for me, so I haven't really dipped my toe back into that in a while. And as you've been seeing, I just mess around on other small games like RimWorld and Holdfast. So Star Citizen is my main kind of meat and potatoes at the minute. Yeah, I played CSGO years ago, and I've done a few like tournaments at LAN events and things, and I'm just bored of it now. It's like DayZ. I don't play things like PUBG or Fortnite/Spit because I'm just burnt out on those kind of MOBA /survival kind of games. I played DayZ in the Arma 2 engine for years and years and years. Had loads of fun with that with some community friends, and we just burnt out on it, so don't play those kind of games anymore. Freelancer's a good ship. Oh, someone's storming around in an Ursa. It's the first time I've seen one of them on this patch. That's cool. That sounded like a prospector just blew a rock up somewhere. Freelancer, yeah, Freelancer's a good ship, and the data runner ship is, you'll either mean the Herald, which is basically a seat with a giant rocket engine strapped to the arse of it, or the Mercury Star Runner, which I am tempted by, but I want to see the flyable model before I think about picking one up. That's the only other kind of ship that has me tempted at the minute. Yeah, I don't like playing like FPS games that are going to get me all that bothered. It may sound a bit whiny, but I actually have a heart condition, and I shouldn't really be doing that much to aggravate it. So drinking alcohol and things like energy drinks at LAN events is naughty enough, but doing something where it gets, you know, very fast-paced action for extended periods of time is not really in my best health interest. Your currency went up to 10k. I don't know if they've given anyone monetary boosts in this patch, but have you not had have you not like bought a ship pack that gives you money? Sometimes the starter packs give you money. I had 37k, but I know that I bought some different things in the meantime. Now tungsten is what we want to buy. We'll not make the same mistake of spending all of our money on it. Yeah, Dazza, it is the kind of perfect game for me, and I do genuinely believe this game is going to be very, very much the future of these engine types of games, you know, especially with all the new graphics card tech and everything. We don't have the fancy ray tracing or anything, but this engine is bloody gorgeous considering that this is an alpha. I did play a lot of Elite Dangerous. I did the whole, you know, space trucking thing in that, and I had an Anaconda, and I did shitloads of trading with it, and then I flew it to the centre of the galaxy and back, and I kind of got a bit burnt out on that as well. I haven't played that for a very long time actually, but it, even with Star Citizen in this alpha phase, and you know the limited sort of universe space we have, Elite Dangerous doesn't really hold a candle to this for me. So if I go in here and we walk, oh, hello, wow, I got stuck in my own ship. Look at that. That's a new one. I've never had that before. Hello, I'm trapped. Well, bugger. Oh, okay. Something to report. I'm going to have to clip that and send that to the issue council. So we'll go this way instead, shall we? Then I can show the cargo for people who've not seen the Caterpillar before. So the Caterpillar has a bunch of these modules here, and you can press this button here and you can open the sides. See, there's the cockpit just up there, and they all extend open like this. I think they have oxygen shields, although I could be wrong. And there's a catwalk up there. That's where I was trying to go before the ship decided to throw me out. So there's a big number of these modules, and it's just a case of finding the cargo that I purchased, which is tungsten, will be in one of these modules. And here it is. See, because I can't walk in. This is all the tungsten I bought. However, we can go up this ladder. And that's the front of the ship there. The tungsten is underneath me. There it is. There's the very edge of it anyway. This goes up to the front defense turret, and we'll go back along the catwalk. Caterpillar, well, it depends. Vazrus, do you want the different functionality of the Retaliator? The Retaliator is a very cool and very pretty ship, but it depends what you want to do with it. Didn't get eaten by the ship this time going through the EVA door, that's good. Where am I going? I want to go to the pilot seat. I'm being an idiot. For a time, I did have a Retaliator base, because I turned a Constellation Taurus into it. You can still do that on the RSI site. but I just have no use nor need for a tally, so there goes at 600 light. We'll hang about for a minute and we'll just watch him go. You do have to have gunners on a tally, but maybe they will change something so that you may be able to have other things in place of the turrets. You never know, do we? Because we don't quite know what they're going to do with it yet. Oh, the Carrack. I don't know, Kedge. Your guess is as good as mine, to be honest. The Carrack has got so much hype built into it at the minute. I think if CIG screw it up in any fashion, the community backlash is going to be hilarious. We want to go that way. How do you mean, Charlie? You might have to sort of clarify that a bit. Do you mean ones that you can buy, or just ones that are in-game that are available to fly at the moment? The ones that are already flight ready. I am sure there is a page of it somewhere, and it will certainly have some kind of page on the Star Citizen subreddit, but I don't immediately know of a resource that tells you which ones are flight ready. Oh, that's where that prospector is. You see his little light down there a minute ago. It might be a bit hard to see on your screen, but there's definitely a ship down there. Or it's a rover. What I can do for giggles, though, because people didn't see the caterpillar before, is open the exterior. So there you go. Now you can see all the way through the ship with the modules, and you can see inside the front as well. And there's all the tungsten we bought. That's a good catch, Lazarus. I didn't know about that page. I don't know the ins and outs of the RSI site, I must say. It's a cool little planet rise with Crusader there. Hello, Holy. Any particular reason you can't get into PU? Is it the 1506 error? Because I don't know if that's still a thing. I managed to get in first time, but I could just be lucky. When you said the elevators weren't working, are you sure you didn't have to drop it in one of those little delivery terminals or something? Or maybe you got the bug where, I've had it with Reco, where it doesn't tell you to take it to an NPC or to a delivery cupboard, locker, whatever you want to call them, but it makes you want to deliver it to what looks like the centre of wherever you're trying to go, so like the centre of a moon or the centre of a station. I've had that one before, and I've had to abandon the mission. It's a bit annoying. Yes, the Origin M50 is nice. The Origin M50, aside from it being a bit genuinely useless at the minute, apart from racing, is probably my favourite ship. It's a fantastic run around. It's got a jump drive in it, and it's really, really fun to fly in atmosphere at the moment. I imagine it'll be even more fun to fly when they do add the new flight model. Been talking about slow spaceships before. The Caterpillar is gorgeous and she carries a lot of cargo and she's a very cool ship, but Jesus Christ, she's slow. Yes, the admin for handing in stuff is on the lower level. Did they scrap the flight model that the guy... They haven't scrapped all of it, if I remember with the conversation I had with Board at Insomnia, but they're still utilising elements of it. It's just that that was too complicated to put in. So it was, you know, the transition from... It was something about the transition from zero gravity flight to atmospheric flight, so they're having to basically redo all of that. Because right now, obviously, it's still the same. There isn't really much of a change from transitioning from zero gravity into the, you know, the gravity element of some kind of planetary body. What's the word I'm looking for? The sphere of influence of a planetary body, that's what I mean. You know, so it's the kind of thing to kind of explain it is, you can see here that I am nowhere near escaping Damar's atmosphere at the minute. I'm still technically within Damar's atmosphere. However, if I were to completely stop the Caterpillar would just hover. It wouldn't do anything. It would automatically assume that I want the engines to hold me up, but I wouldn't lose fuel for that. You know, it would just sort of magically suspend itself within the I won't say air, because obviously there's not going to be air up here, but the only way to show that there is a sphere of influence is to have someone either jump out or throw something out or drive a rover off, and then obviously you'll see it start to fall towards the moon. Can I spool now? No, I cannot, because I'm still within the atmosphere. You have to escape the atmosphere to be able to spool the quantum drive. Atmosphere around Damar is 30,000 meters, I think. So 30 miles up. The one time I did get to Hurston, I did notice that the atmosphere is a hell of a lot higher and a hell of a lot thicker. It lasts a lot longer, which is obviously a lot more true to form and very cool, I think. Oh, the Reliant. The Reliant is a very interesting ship, but it does feel a bit useless, doesn't it? It's not the fact that it's, you know, it doesn't have cargo space, but it's so fragile. Like one shot and it just tears the engines off, and if you lose so much as like a piece of that ship, it just makes it unmaneuverable. You know, you can't turn or anything. Yes, I'm very interested in the Mako. You know, any kind of those as a content creator, I'm very interested in these kind of ships. You know, that can do news reports and things like that. That's going to be something to certainly keep an eye for, isn't it? Is the Cutlass Black good? Cutlass Black's very good. For its money, it's one of the most versatile ships you can buy. It's got guns, it's got cargo space, it can carry people, it can carry a vehicle. Vulcan will have to see when they've finished with the concept phase of that. Yeah, you know, news reports would be cool. It's very much when I used to play Eve, I used to love doing info runs on Eve, so not so much being a part of the massive blob of ships that are trying to blow one another up, but getting there in a small ship with a stealth module and, you know, just relaying information. Hiding away from the rest of everything else that was going on, whilst trying not to get smart bombed, and yeah, just feeding back information. Ships don't go on sale at certain times, Charlie. It's not quite how it works. They go on sale when they go into concept, so CIG will say, we have a new ship coming out, this is it, and it will be a concept of the ship, so it will just be concept drawings and maybe a flashy video, but they won't have a flyable model for however long until that ship gets created. The only other exception to that is if there's some kind of other random events they do, like during St. Patrick's Day they released a load of green ships, for instance, like you could buy Starfarer Gemini and a Mustang Delta, and they did the Emerald Constellation Phoenix as well, didn't they? Aside from that, the only other time they sell ships is the anniversary sale, which is at the end of this month. It's normally at the end of November, around Black Friday. Yeah, the Avenger is like one of the best ships at the minute. It's got so much utility. You know, if you don't want to buy Cutlass Black or you can't afford Cutlass Black, the Avenger is your next best bet. Yeah, the Avenger M50 is flight ready, so you can fly it. I have one, but you can't buy them. They're not for sale. And they won't be, the exception being until there's some kind of, you know, ability in-game to purchase it, which I think is in Hurston, which is coming obviously in 3.3.5. I believe the ship sale place there, you can buy them in-game for credits there, or you can buy them in the anniversary sale, which is every year at the end of November.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Exactly. The Cutlass Black and the Avenger are their best at price points at the minute. Oh, did I just... I just did a runway landing. I didn't realise I was that low. Wow, that went surprisingly well considering how low I was. Somebody in Port Olisar are not going to be happy because they've just created some giant scrape marks across the landing pad. Next question, is trading working properly, and will I be able to sell the tungsten here that I brought back? The Taurus will be a good ship when we get it, and it's slated for 3.4 I think, unless they push that back as well. But at the minute, obviously, we don't have the Taurus. If you want that kind of constellation, you have to go with the Andromeda, which is more expensive. I think you get an Andromeda at the minute, don't you, as a loaner, if you own the Taurus? I could be wrong. That's for the mining one. Well, that's like next to no profit at all. That's pain. Well, we'll do the other thing then. Oh, my Renegade's around at Levski. We'll just reclaim it. So we'll get the Titan Renegade out and we'll try and find the drug lab and see if they still have Widow to sell. I wonder if the VoIP is still going at the minute. There's a gentleman running around in a top hat and a Citizen Con jacket just gone. Here he is. Oh, there's a bunch of them.
We are drawn towards the familiar. It is safe, reliable, but it can shackle us to the ordinary when in our souls we long to strike out and become something new.
As I understand it, the 300i is meant to be more of a rival to the Freelancer. The 100 series is what is meant to be a rival to the Avenger. I did have a 135C, which I bought during the concept sale because I'm an Origin fanboy, but I had to melt it as part of a ship pack so I could buy the Constellation Phoenix because we didn't have a CCU for them. I may pick up another one, we'll see.
Your ship has been delivered to the following landing pad.
Station is a proud member of the Ship Share program, encouraging travelers to save resources and fly together.
It's time to trigger all the OCD people again by getting in the Avenger, which doesn't have its HUD fixed, so it's off-center. Retaliator base is still a fine ship, and of course at the minute you get the bomber as a loaner, so you can go and torpedo everything in the meantime. Let's sell in. Where am I looking? I'm not going insane. Where's Yela? There it is. Lord Bennett. I don't know if it has LTI with concept. Razer, you'll have to look in your hangar to see. Ooh, that's good. We landed in the exact right spot to go to the drug lab, because now I know exactly where I am. That will be a little bit easier if it wasn't filled with puddles. We want to be going in that general direction. I was saying that. Is there a... There we go. I would say, out of those ships, Lazarus, keep your Avenger, because the Avenger at the minute is infinitely useful. And it's a bit more tough than a Reliant. And upgrade your Reliant if you want a Cutlass. Worst comes to worst, if you don't like the Cutlass, you can always obviously melt it and buy it back, although you just need to make sure you've got a buyback token unless you're using real money. Because I'm useless at doing the mid-stop spool thing, Rasmus, that's why. And yes, you can buy the Cutlass at Teachers. It is just not cheap, as I mentioned in my other video. The price of it at Teachers, if I remember correctly, is just over 1.5 million credits. And until CIG tweaks the in-game economy a bit, and by that I don't mean so much the cargo but more the mission rewards, because they didn't really do much of that due to the fact they wanted to get 3.3 out alive, it's still very hard to work up the money to be able to buy those ships. Yes, it's a lot of drug runs. The most reliable form and fastest way of making money in-game at the minute is mining. I've seen people in sync at the minute doing mining runs easily coming home with like 45, 50k a run. Even then, that's still a hell of a lot of mining to go and get a Cutlass. Yeah, you know, there may very well be things like that, Vazarus, that come in, but at the minute it's just not a thing, is it? Which is a shame. That's where we need to go. Just over there. Oh, my dog's going mental. Yeah, I imagine when they have Hurston in, for all we know, they may very well implement a small, you know, 3.3.x patch that may just to be balancing the economy and make the mission rewards more fruitful to make it easier for people to buy ships. Or they may bring ship prices down. I know that in the Evocati at the moment, the ship prices are still the same as they were at CitizenCon, so like the Hammerhead was like insanely priced. And we should have a little building down here. There we go. Good to see us still remember where this thing is. Dump. Yeah, I have a good memory for finding landmarks and things. It really irritates people in sync that I can just find things by looking at the moon. Same with this and the javelin wreck. Question is, does it have anything for sale? Wow, it does. Okay. But it doesn't have any Widow. Oh. No, it just has literally shit for sale. Let's give it a minute and we'll see if it restocks. This is what I meant by when I was here in the PTU. It didn't have anything for sale. We'll go outside and have a look at the prettiness of Crusader. I also like how they've done more of the atmospheric shaders now, and it looks like it's snowing. Daymar has its heat haze now, and Yayla has its snow. I haven't actually checked if Selin has anything, but I don't think it does. Let's go and have another look. Could just be that the machine needed to populate because no one's been nearby, but I've a reasonable assumption that this isn't going to have anything to sell us. Yeah, it's balked. Oh well. Well, my journey has saved you a lot of time if you think about coming here for the time being. The simple word is don't, because they don't have anything to sell. Yeah, that's the problem with Star Citizen at the minute, because it's not so much as the party system, it's because of the way that the game is designed. It does take a long time to organise things. That, and it's, you know, you could think if you were doing it in a sort of military way, whereupon, you know, there will be a lot more organisation and things will be a lot more snappy. As it happens in a stream, you're just doing it with a bunch of randoms, so there's going to be people messing about and people crashing and people dying, so things will take more time. Let's go to Selin. A strange water effect going on at the minute across the surface of the moon for some reason. There's no PTU up at the minute for backers. Obviously 3.3 has just gone live, so we don't have a PTU of it anymore. And 3.3.5 with Hurston is only available at the moment to the Evocati test people. Yeah, they are a tsunami. But when you're down on the surface of the moon, if you stand in one, it doesn't affect you in any way, but it genuinely does look like waves. So it is some kind of water tech. It's just bugging out on the surface of these moons for some reason. If you can't get in because you're getting the 1506 error, you just have to keep trying, I'm afraid. The login servers are still wobbly. They're performing a bit better today, but for whatever reason, the login servers and authentication servers are balked. The game servers itself are fine, it's just the login servers. How come nobody flies in Hornets? Warbot, the leader of Sync, flies a Super Hornet all the time, Vazarus. I think they're rubbish. We keep trying to get him to buy a Sabre, and we know he's sorely tempted, but he just won't commit to it. It's actually quite funny to try and wind him up. Mustang or an Aurora? I would say Mustang at the minute, because the Mustangs have just had their rework, so they feel a lot better to fly, and I imagine they'll be a lot more fun to fly within an atmosphere as well. The Hornet doesn't have cargo space, no, but that's because it's a combat ship. If you're trying to fit cargo in a Hornet, then you're doing something wrong. Turns out Selin is full of lots of water on the moon at the minute as well. Mustang Alpha as a straight outset, I think, and then if you want something that's a bit cooler, maybe with a bit more range on it and has a bit more utility, go and get the Beta, which you still can buy at the minute. That's got the bedroom in the back for exploration, because it's the Pathfinder variant of it. And yes, wait for the anniversary sale, because they might be a little bit cheaper. Does that ship have the EMP? Not the one I'm flying at the minute, Chris. I do have one with an EMP. I have the Sabre Raven, but this isn't the Avenger variant that has the EMP is the Warlock, and this is a Titan that I'm flying. Where's my view going? Darker and darker and darker. That's very, very strange. It's like I'm blacking out, but I'm not recovering. There we go. Blimey. The Karak is going to be interesting, but like every other ship that I'm tempted by, I want to see a flyable model that we can use. Oh, just in time for the sunset, look at that. Yeah, I want to see a flyable model that we can use before I commit to thinking about buying anything. Now, there was something you could buy here. What was it? Fluorine? No, agricultural supplies, that's right. And then you take them around to the hydro farm. Where's the purchasing terminal? I'm in the wrong building. Must be the one over here. The Karak is... So, when CIG say exploration within Star Citizen, there is two very different ideals, although they don't really distinguish between the two of them. So at the moment you can buy ships that are exploration variant, but when you look closer they are actually called expedition variant, or the ship says expedition. Not medical supplies, no, I want agricultural supplies. There we go. So, for instance, the 600i and the Constellation Aquila are not exploration ships, they are expedition ships. And, for instance, the Mustang Beta and the Origin 315P are Pathfinder ships. So, for instance, the Pathfinders are meant to look for new jump gates. That's their main purpose. So they're meant to venture out into space and hunt down the potentials for new jump gates. So yeah, expedition and exploration. So you've got your expedition ships, and then you have the Karak, which is an exploration ship. And the reason for this is the Karak has the extra armor, the extra weaponry, the extra fuel tank range, basically everything it needs to be able to go into stupidly hostile territory, find these new planets and things like that, and then get back in one piece. Whereas if you were in an Aquila or a 600i, which is a bit more of a fragile snowflake, they can't do that. So it's down to the Karak to really do the hardcore exploration. So the Karak can go into these new dangerous territories, find the new planets, map them and sell the locations or do whatever you want to do. And then the Phoenix and the Aquila and whatever other exploration, or rather expedition ships, can plot the initial expeditions to go and find the resources and do that kind of exploration. The Karak is very much the balls to the walls exploration ship, because it will be able to go into, say, like the fringe of Vandal territory, find the shiny new moon, and then get back without getting blown to pieces. Whereas the Aquila and the 600i, you could certainly try and take them out there, but they wouldn't have much of a rate of survival if they got attacked. Yeah, Terrapin is very much that. Well, what's going on with it? I think I need to change server because this server is artifacting and the lighting's going a bit wobbly. We'll jump to a different server. So yeah, when they say exploration, you kind of have to take it with a pinch of salt and read a bit more between the lines. Ooh, a lot of people on that one from Sync. My FPS at the moment, I'll turn on the FPS counter for you, Ed, so you can have a look, because it varies depending on what we're doing. There we go. There we go, there's now an FPS counter for you. I need to change my description because I'm not playing on my Razer Blade Pro at the minute. I have my Razer Blade Pro on, but the battery is disconnected and I'm just using it as like a side machine to watch the chat and everything from you guys. Because I need to send it away to get the battery switched. I'm actually on my older tower, which is completely different specs. Not that the performance is bad, as you can see, it's still pretty good. And take the M50 out for giggles, shall we? As I understand, the Anvil Arrow is like an interceptor. It's kind of like the Saber Raven. It's got EMP, hasn't it? Yeah, the exploration play is something that is not going to be done for a while, I reckon. We may get some kind of early iteration of it, but it's not going to be as prominent as like the mining or, you know, salvaging. A Drake Corsair? I don't think we'll have a Drake ship for a while because we just had the Kraken, didn't we? See if we can go and find a busy starport, shall we? We'll go and visit Shubin/Mos Eisley and see what's going on over there. Yeah, this is the Origin M50. This is my little baby pocket rocket. I love this thing. Yes. Will the seat be high enough is the question he said. Does it have struts as well as the other question, isn't it? Let's see if Shubin... Shubin's on the dark side. Okay, we'll go to ArcCorp.